So now we go to the controversial one where we had a lot of arguments while this matter was taking place. And that is El Grande, Chad Gable, and Rey Fenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to point something out. I just want to point something out. And you know what? I give a shit. I give a fuck. Jeremy can call me out on this point because he asked me this question. Was the Captain America character in WWE, do I still believe that there was Hulk Hogan? Yes, I believe that there was Hulk Hogan. Nobody else puts a mask on and says brother at the end of every sentence other than Hulk Hogan. It was clearly obvious. I mean to everybody, just not to Jeremy.
There are people out there, and I watch a lot of podcasters, wrestling podcasters. Let me just put
on YouTube. My light on quickly.
A lot of wrestling podcasters who are playing the role of furthering the fact that they think El Grande Americano is not Chad Gable when he clearly is. You know?
Look. And those people are the same morons that actually believe that Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker are two different people.
Two different people. I'm certainly sure of that. But this match, it was originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio. I don't know, was the injury legit was it a story?
Legit. It was legit. Look, I'm not taking anything away from... Look, just for kayfabe, let me call it as it was. El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. Spectacular performance because the things that they did in that match was second to none. However, where that match started falling short of a 5-star rating was when the metal plate came out and went inside the mask.
That's a running gimmick. I mean, that's the story they're talking about.
Let me just point this out to you. When you go to a coffee shop, right?
Okay.
You've been in a coffee shop before. You've been to Starbucks and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the beverages, is it not an Americano?
I know where you're going with this because I read K-Fit a few days ago and they referenced it as a Starbucks thing.
Yes, and is Grande not a size of the cup?
Are you debating? You know
I'm not debating.
That's part of it, right? That's
look, I'm not debating. I am just pointing. I am just pointing this out to you that El Grande Americano basically translates to a big cup of coffee, a large cup of coffee.
That's true.
And so I dare anybody, even our legal to prove me wrong. And let me just put this out to those believers that think that they can prove me wrong. You can't.
It's just like Donald Trump said, there's only male or female. There is no other in between. So just like that, they can't prove you wrong.
There is nothing. Otherwise we'll end up like the situation we had in the Olympics, where you had a transgender Algerian boxer fighting a female boxer from Italy, and the female boxer from Italy quitting the match after 2 shots because the transgender boxer from Algeria would have broken her jaws or damaged her. Now, how can you honestly tell me that it is legitimate for you to take a transgender person who has masculine qualities and testosterone flowing in your body to compete in a female sport where the female is a lot less built up than a male, a lot less stronger than a male, and that doesn't have testosterone and runs on estrogen. How do you justify? How do you justify that? Now you want to justify telling me that I am wrong about El Grande Americano being a big fucking cup of coffee. And not only that, to prove my damn point, the entrance, the introduction was from the Gulf of America.
That's the thing. It's supposed to be a parody. It's not even supposed. It's like saying Death Valley because he's the Undertaker.
But Death Valley is actually a place in Texas.
Yeah, but the way they reference it, not as a place in Texas, they reference it as.
But the Gulf of America does look. But you can't compare the two. But Death Valley as a location actually exists. The Gulf of America doesn't exist. It's the Gulf of Mexico. It's like telling me you have a child that you want to send to school after they turn 12 years old, and you're going to try and send them to Hogwarts.
Okay, how do you explain in the 80s places wrestlers were announced from parts unknown, like the missing link, parts unknown? Where is that?
Or like Black Rain, from the deepest, darkest corners of his mind.
Yeah. So how do you justify those characters?
By the way, that reference of Black Rain, that's dedicated to you, Jeremy. I know you hate it with a passion. So I said it because of you. I hope you enjoy it.
He's going to be haunted in the deepest, darkest corners of his mind.
Well, yeah. But El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix was a good match until the point, and I think at some point, Chad Gable is going to see his ass, considering now that WWE acquired AAA Lucha Libre, because if he thinks that he can pass himself off as a Lucha Libre, now they actually do have Lucha Libre, genuine ones, and we saw Vikingo.
Yes.
And I think there's going to be a match. However, I think Chad Gable will do quite well because his style from what I saw in that match with Rey Fenix, it was a good match. I never expected it to be that good, but it was a damn good match.
And just as we touch on that subject of AAA, the acquisition, I am looking forward to seeing, hopefully, WWE establishes a AAA program. I mean, they have I think Wednesdays or Thursdays open. They can put a show on there. And I hope they stay true to AAA, because as much as, yes, WWE is going to bring in a lot of more eyes on the product, and they're going to bring in their production value to AAA.
However, let me ask you this. Who is the AAA world champion?
ADR?
Currently, who is the AAA world champion?
Is it not Alberto Del Rio? Or Alberto El Patron? Right.
Alberto Del Rio, same person, yes. Considering that he was banned from WE, now he's on AAA, dude, and he's not there anymore. So does he reappear on WWE program?
Yes, because Triple H is not like Vince McMahon. Triple H puts aside his personal feelings, and he's been mending fences that Vince has broken over the years. So I think we're definitely going to see Alberto El Patron back. However, I don't necessarily feel like I want to see the Mexican aristocrat, nor do I want to see Ricardo Rodriguez. I think he'll come in as Alberto El Patron, and he'll be exactly who he was on Triple A. That's what I'm saying. I hope WWE keeps the Mexican Lucha Libre ethos of Triple A.
Don't forget that NXT's next PL is Worlds Collide, and that's NXT versus Triple A.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Me as well, because I would like to see Nathan Fraser and Axiom or Fraxium beat in Worlds Collide, because that will be something special. And although they lost to Hank and Ted, Fraxium is one of the best tag teams that WWE has to offer.
And I don't know if you saw the announcement. It's actually that day, 7th of June, is going to be 2 pay-per-views on the same day. We're getting Worlds Collide, which is NXT versus AAA, plus we're getting Money in the Bank on the same night.
Don't forget that they're to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Asian Chamber that's going to be in Mexico
next year. Oh, I did not know that. Do they make an announcement about it? Because I didn't see that.
Oh, let me check here WWE's whilst I'm on the site.
Because I didn't see anything about that. I know they mentioned they're coming, they got a takeover going to Perth in Australia, which is interesting, to say the least. But I did not see anything about next year's Elimination Chamber being in Mexico, which, if it is, would be quite interesting to see if they put a bunch of luchadors in there. Because if, the last time they had luchadors inside of Elimination Chamber, was it either Sin Cara or was it Kalisto that did like a little swing from the top of the chamber right down onto everyone at the bottom? So luchadors can perform well within the chamber structure. And now that they've acquired AAA, I'm really hoping they do exactly what they with the Mexican wrestlers. Maybe not on the same way Vince did it, but giving AAA its own show, but still showcasing those luchadors on either Raw or SmackDown or even NXT, seeing that NXT is the third brand now, putting them on those shows to promote the AAA show and also give those AAA stars, time to shine on WWE's main flagships, that is Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. So I'm really looking forward to that. And like you said, with El Grande Americano there, his gimmick will now be forced to compete.
From what I can see, there is a WWE Super Show Summer Tour that is Mexico City in July. So on the July 13th, WWE Super Show Summer Tour Mexico City.
I honestly feel like that Worlds Collide event is going to be a launching pad for WWE launching AAA under the umbrella. So perhaps that tour in Mexico City,
but it will be something good to check.
To all our subscribers, please like, subscribe, or comment. Comment means a lot to us. Let us know what your thoughts are, and we'd like to be in touch with you. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.